The Bear opening was a total chaos and ruined the relationships. Carmy and Richie are at war and Sydney is the point of balance. As they try to deal with that, Carmy chooses to change the menu every day, making the restaurants make it or break it nature even more stressful. Hey everyone, Luke Ripa here, welcome back to Weekos and welcome to my review of The Bear Season 3. Before I start talking about the third outing of the FX Hit series, be sure to leave a like and subscribe or follow depending on which platform you're watching this on. You can find Weekos and all our other reviews and content on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok and Twitch. As you know, I love The Bear. I watched it before it was cool, enjoying every single thing of it, and I thought Season 2 surpassed it. Their filmmaking was really different from most TV shows, and in my opinion their approach to the stressful anxiety-inducing high-end cuisine, even though they start in a fast food, was excellent. That style also perfectly married the story about loss and dysfunctionality they were telling. In a way, what made The Bear as successful and iconic as it turned out to be is its very indie storytelling nature. And again, I enjoyed every second of it in both Season 1 and 2. Then we have Season 3, which is quintessentially indie, doubling or even tripling down the indiness. Minutes-long static shots, cutaways to dialogues that might be funny but really are saying nothing, chaotic editing style that is really noticeable. And it's a hit or miss thing. In the season premiere, which is not a season premiere but literally a prequel, we have an extremely non-linear narration bouncing from moment to moment seemingly without reason. Of course, there's a pattern, but given how mainstream The Bear got, it might be a turn-off to some viewers as it is quite challenging to follow it. That's not to say I didn't like it, I effing loved it actually, but it's a consideration I had to make. Anyways, it works wonders, but again is essentially a featurette that adds to the mythology but not to the present narrative, if not for something that will connect to the season finale. Then we have episode 2, the actual season premiere, and finally the story starts right where we left off, with Carmy and Richie at war, Carmy regretting what he said to Claire, and Sydney bringing balance to the workplace. Also, Carmy's decision to change the menu every day is taken here, so everyone who thinks this is a spoiler, it is not. Obviously, that factor adds an interesting dynamic diegetically speaking, creating situations and pumping up the iconic show anxiety. The most important thing though is one you slowly realize throughout the show. This is part 1 of 2, and therefore the previous 2 season structure, half setup and half payoff, is now divided between season 4 and 5, which means this season is essentially a setup for the next one. And I get it, the show was renewed for 2 seasons, so creator Christopher Storer took full advantage of it. As a filmmaker, I would have done the same. But that really impacted the show, as if you don't consider the spin-off episodes, which are 3, the first episode plus 2 more, nothing much really happens. Every one of the main characters feels kind of frozen, in the sense they move, they talk, they get important info, but most of the time they decide to ponder upon it. And if Carmy and Sydney in the end still get to do stuff because of obvious story reasons, the one who suffers the most from this new structure is Richie. Essentially, Richie's setup for season 5 is set within the first 4 episodes and then he's just kinda there. And given his screen time didn't change that much, you will notice that very quickly, which is very shameful since he had the best arc in season 2, becoming a very beloved character. Again, he is there, he does interact with other characters, but there's not that captivating energy that he previously brought. Another consequence of this season structure is that they keep adding stuff without really resolving it, which results in a too much feeling once the final title card appears. You really feel it with Sydney's character, whose final season appearance is characterized by something that really feels excessive once you consider everything. Thankfully, the spin-off episodes are still amazing and entertaining, and perhaps with the best dialogue. Last thing is the guest stars, which again are big names and might be very distracting. In season 3 we're talking about both actors and chefs. The latter was to be expected eventually given Carmy's background. The guest stars were always a reason for vanity, so to speak, for The Bear, and given most of them were limited to the hour-long Christmas dinner flashback episode in season 2, it never really did bother me. However, by now, as we come to season 3, you really expect it, and it results in something slightly distracting. Even here the actors guest starring are really big and noticeable names. And if you are into high-end cuisine, it might be even more so given the chefs. It seems I really don't like this season, but honestly I enjoyed it, it still is The Bear we all much like. That said, it is definitely a step back compared to the previous 2 seasons, which is why I give The Bear Season 3 a 7 out of 10. The first episode is so good I gave it an extra half a point, but I hope Season 4 will deliver on everything set up in this one. That's it for this review. Did you watch The Bear Season 3? Did you like it more than I did? Let me know down in the comments. My name is Luke Ripa, leave a like if you liked the video, and I'll see you next time.